Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming. Happy New Year to everyone. So we can wish and pray to Srimati Radharani Krishna that this is auspicious beginning for New Year, and we can become closer to Krishna through His holy name and His teachings in this New Year. So we will now have some kirtans for some time. We will chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra to invoke auspiciousness. And then after that we will have a short class on the Bhagavad Gita, and followed by Aarti and Prasadam. So whoever can stay for the whole program, you're most welcome. And we will start off with a small kirtan and bhajan. So it's a call and response fashion, so I'll sing and then you can repeat after me. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pashatya Deshatari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. This chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is actually a prayer requesting Radha and Krishna to become part of our life, which brings in all auspiciousness and all the good things of life. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jai. Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari. Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jayo Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jayo Radha Jayo Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jayo Radha Madan Mohan Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha 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 Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha 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 Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhu. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah. So, we'll have a short class on the Bhagavad Gita. So, today's topic is how to welcome auspiciousness into our life. So, thank you all for coming. Happy New Year. So we will start off with the Mangala Charan, which is in the first page of the Bhagavad Gita, introduction. So we'll read the Mangala Charan and then we will have a discussion on this topic. So we can all read it together. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Nilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sham He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavanda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today we are going to talk about bringing auspiciousness into our lives. So that is the picture there is the lotus feet of Krishna. And of course today's topic we will see how, when we bring Krishna into our life, then it automatically brings all auspiciousness into our lives. So, anybody can say what is auspiciousness? Okay, in their understanding, in their own understanding. What is that? Good luck. Okay. Sorry? Purity. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, those answers were right. So, here is some more answer from the dictionary. It's auspiciousness means conducive to success. Somebody said good luck. And then favorable, things which are favorable for our particular goal. We consider them as. And then prosperity, some people consider prosperity to be auspiciousness. But here today we are going to talk more about how auspiciousness that we generally, when we relate to in terms of material success or material prosperity, it's actually because of the temporary nature of the material things, that auspiciousness is limited. So we will talk a little bit about that, and then we'll talk about what is eternal auspiciousness that will bring us good eternally. And then we'll talk about what are the activities that will give us that eternal auspiciousness. And then finally we'll conclude the session by some practical tips of how to go about doing that. Ramananda Prabhu, can you move the slide to the third one? Next, yeah. So, before that, I'd like to read a verse from the Bhagavad Gita. If you turn to 2nd chapter 40, verse number 40. 2nd chapter 40th verse. So I'll read the translation and purport from this verse. It's page number 113. Neha brikrame nashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapi asya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayad. Translation. Lord Krishna says, in this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. And a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Purport. So here Lord Krishna is talking about spiritual activity. So he says that, especially he is here talking about Buddhi Yoga or devotional service. And he is saying that in this particular activity there is no loss or diminution. And we will read the purport and have a discussion on that. Purport. Activity in Krishna consciousness or acting for the benefit of Krishna without expectation of sense gratification is the highest transcendental quality of work. Even a small beginning of such activity finds no impediment, nor can that small beginning be lost at any stage. Any work begun on the material plane has to be completed. Otherwise, the whole attempt becomes a failure. That is true, right? Any activity that we do, even if it's completed, it stays with us only for until the end of this life. What to speak of any activity? Let's say you start up your PhD and stop your PhD. You're not going to get any fruit out of that actually, just because you have incomplete work. And one loses all their education and all the things that they have earned when actually the life ends. And it doesn't continue on to the next life. So I'll continue with the purport. But any work begun in Krishna consciousness has a permanent effect, even though not finished. The performer of such work is therefore not at a loss, even if his work in Krishna consciousness is incomplete. 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent results, so that the next beginning is from the point of 2%, whereas in material activity, without 100% success, there is no profit. Ajamila performed his duty in some percentage of Krishna consciousness, but the results he enjoyed at the end was 100% by the grace of the Lord. There is a nice verse in this connection in Srimad Bhagavatam. Tivaktva swa dharmam saranambujam harer bhajan apako atha pate tato yadhi yatra kva vabdharam abhut amushya kim ko varta apto bhajatam swadharmataha. If someone gives up his occupational duties and works in Krishna consciousness and then falls down on account of not completing his work, what loss is there on his part? And what can one gain if one performs material activities perfectly? Or as the Christians say, what profit a man if he gains the whole world yet suffers the loss of his eternal soul? Material activities and the results end with the body. But work in Krishna consciousness carries a person again to Krishna consciousness even after the loss of the body. At least one is sure to have a chance in the next life of being born as a human being, either in the family of a great cultured Brahmana or in a rich aristocratic family. That will give one a further chance for elevation. That is the unique quality of work done in Krishna consciousness. So here, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada actually talks about the glory of devotional service or spiritual activity. So when one advances into in spirituality, or one follows the path of spirituality and makes some progress, then that progress is not lost, even if it's incomplete, that will carry over to one's next life. But in the case of material activities, the results of the material activities end at the end of one's life. So this is very important distinction about material and spiritual activities. Whatever we earn as a part of material activity in terms of money or in terms of facilities, in terms of education, all those things are lost, or in terms of even family, all those things are taken away at the time of death. But the spiritual activity, one's advancement in spiritual activity actually is retained, and one continues from where he is left off in this previous life. So, we can see that in one sense, we are, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, we are all eternally spiritual entities. We are all Atma, spirit souls, but we have gotten entangled in this material realm. So this is what Krishna says in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He says many verses, especially in the first section of the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna is confused about what his duty is. Krishna clarifies, because Arjuna is refusing to fight due to the fear of killing his own kinsmen. So he is in a very distressed condition. In fact, the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Does anybody know what does that mean? The grief of Arjuna. Yeah, it's a yoga of distress. It's a little ironical that we call it as it's named as Arjuna Vishada Yoga. How can distress be yoga? But there is a beauty, because he was using the distress to connect to Krishna, who was the supreme teacher. So, due to avidya, which is the first point listed there, Arjuna was actually in a very distressful and a very depressed state of mind. And that was one of the reasons for that was because of his attachment to his kinsmen, who were actually standing on the other side of the battlefield. And due to becoming overwhelmed with such attachment, he had fallen into a state of despair and depression. In fact, the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, actually, you can see Arjuna's condition where he's trembling, his mind is reeling under stress, and he is not able to hold his Gandiva bow. And so far, if you know a little bit of history of Mahabharata, you know how Arjuna was a very successful person. He was the top student from the institute of Dronacharya. He had won Draupadi in Swayamvar, and he had such credentials, and he was such a learned person, and he was a personal friend of Krishna, and he was a devotee of the Lord. But still, due to being covered by ignorance in that moment, he lost all composure, and that is a symptom of avidya. And that is one of the causes of inauspiciousness in our life, that leads to distress, that leads to depression and many other conditions that Arjuna was facing. And Krishna, to break that avidya, he spoke right from the beginning of the second chapter. He started off with the Atma Tattva, or the science of the soul. So he began by telling Arjuna that, "Oh Arjuna, you are talking like a learned person, but your words don't represent a learned person. Those who are wise neither lament for the living nor for the grief." So Krishna takes him to a different dimension, spiritual dimension altogether, telling him that, Actually, we are all not this body, but we are Atma. We are spiritual entities. So, and he gives many verses which actually talks about the eternality of the soul. Even though this body is temporary, and we are all, covered, or we are all living in this temporary body, but the Atma, the real me, is eternal. We don't die when the body dies. So Krishna first addresses the misidentification of Arjuna, saying that you're not this body, but you are spiritual entity, and that you are eternal. And in one sense, the spirit soul, which is full of Satchit Ananda, which is full of eternality, bliss, and knowledge, for the Atma to take this material body in itself is a bad bargain. So, again, just to give you an idea, the Atma is full of happiness, full of bliss, full of eternality, and there is no birth and death for the Atma. There is no suffering for the spirit soul, and is full of knowledge. And for it to actually accept this body is a very bad bargain, because the body represents exactly the opposite, which is, it is temporary, which is the opposite of eternality, and it gives a lot of misery, and it is full of ignorance. And so accepting this body is a sign of inauspiciousness, because now I have to go through this samsara. I have to go through this cycle of birth and death. Even though none of us want to become old, we don't want to have disease, we don't want to die, but all these things are still being forced upon us. And not only that, when living in this world, we are actually dragged to many different things by the uncontrolled mind and the senses. So Krishna again gives this beautiful depiction of a chariot. He gives the example of a chariot, and he says, actually the Upanishads give the example of a chariot, and Prabhupada quotes this in the Bhagavad Gita. The chariot, the horses represents. Can anybody guess what the horses represent? Yeah, the five senses. And the driver. What about the driver? Anybody can say what the driver represents? What is that? Yeah, go ahead. Intelligence, yeah. The mind, the reins represent the mind. The driver is represented by the intelligence, and the passenger is the spirit soul, the Atma. This is how the mind, intelligence, Atma mechanism works. It's like a chariot. And when the mind and senses are not controlled, then they drag the Atma to anywhere and everywhere. And this brings undesired effects on the Atma and also undesired results. I mean, think about a chariot which you don't have any control over, where the horses and the reins are in control. What will happen to the passenger? The passenger is not going to have a smooth ride. So similarly, in fact, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita at many places, especially in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that one who actually lives for the satisfaction of the senses lives in vain. One who doesn't follow the cycle of sacrifices that is established in the Vedas, but rather lives for the satisfaction of the senses, lives in vain. I mean, we can experience this ourselves. You just spend the whole day sitting in front of a TV or doing just some activities, just are trying to satisfy your senses, you will feel at the end of the day pretty worthless. At least I've had this experience where when you will feel, oh, I have not spent my time I could have spent my time in a much better way. You won't feel very inspired at the end of the day if you try to spend activities completely for the satisfaction of the senses. And that's what Krishna says also. He says, one who actually lives for the satisfaction of senses lives in vain. Now the uncontrolled senses on the mind doesn't only trouble by demanding, these senses have urges. The eyes want to see something, the tongue wants to taste something, the ear wants to hear something. Now the mind also has urges. The mind wants to experience something new. In fact, in the material world, all the activities that we do, it goes back to one basic thing. Why do we do activities? Many activities, so many varieties of activities that we do. We do all those activities for happiness. Is it not? We are seeking happiness. The Vedanta Sutra says, Anandamayo Bhyasat. Like how, the heats, the heat-seeking missiles goes after heat. So similarly, we are all actually looking for happiness in life. And because we are looking in the wrong place. We are looking in the wrong direction. So the senses demands engagement. The eyes demand some new things to see. And unfortunately, the things of this world is, we do certain thing to, get some rasa or some taste. But after doing the same thing for some time, the taste is gone. For example, you're listening to some new music that is released. How many days can you listen? You can get some taste. Initially, you will get, some, how shall I say, some, you become all enthusiastic. Maybe you dance with the music and everything. But after listening to 10 times or 20 times or 30 times, you slowly lose taste. And that is the nature of the material activities. The material activities doesn't have sustained rasa, because the satisfaction of the senses doesn't really satisfy the Atma. So then there is this symptom of bhoga and tyaga. Srila Prabhupada says in the Nectar of Devotion that one actually tries to squeeze as much of enjoyment as possible from this material world. But then after some time one actually goes to the symptom of bhoga and tyaga. One tries to enjoy and one renounces. One tries to enjoy and one renounces. Like that. Like for example, the whole concept of work hard, then play hard. Actually, you work hard through the week, and then you try to enjoy the weekend, and after that you will have to go back to working hard again. I mean, we cannot try to enjoy. In fact, when we take a vacation or something like that, after a few days we start thinking when I can go back to work. And then when you're working, we are thinking when I can go back to enjoyment, like that. So the material activities doesn't give us the deep satisfaction that the Atma is looking for. It only gives superficial satisfaction. So the senses are dragging us here and there, but unfortunately, when we don't have a higher taste, we actually go along with the senses and the mind. And finally, what happens when the senses drag us here and there? They also lead us to activities which are sinful. Now that is also a reason for inauspiciousness, because sinful action gives rise to sinful reactions. And it goes on in a cycle. And ultimately, when the heart gets polluted, what goes in actually comes out. I mean, there's a principle called, what is it? First in, first out, right? Or last in, first out. So similarly, whatever we put into our head or into our heart is what is going to come out ultimately. So these are some of the symptoms or the causes of inauspiciousness in our life. Any thoughts, any comments, any questions? Anybody would like to add or raise? We'll go to the next slide. So, how to bring, having looked at the inauspiciousness in our life, and on top of all the other problems that we discussed in last slide, there is also Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. So Krishna says that Krishna categorizes the knowledge as perception of death, birth, death, old age and disease as evil. So having this body is the bad bargain, but how to bring real auspiciousness into our life in spite of getting into this bad bargain? That is what we will discuss in the next few slides. First of all, to understand the value of human life. Even though the human body is a bad bargain, but still human body is very valuable. More valuable than animal life. Because in human life, one can actually inquire into the absolute truth. One can actually inquire into questions like, why am I suffering? How do I put an end to all suffering? How do I get out of this samsara? How can I be eternally happy? So human life is very valuable because it gives one a facility to inquire into absolute truth, to reason and to inquire into absolute truth. So one can discriminate and question like this in human life. So to understand that value and to use human life accordingly is one sign of auspiciousness. To use it to what it is meant for. Because between animals and humans, 4 activities are common between us: eating, mating, sleeping and defending. Eating, mating, sleeping and defending are all common between us and animals. But one thing that distinguishes us from the animals is to inquire and discriminate and ask questions. So that's why the Vedanta Sutras start with Athato Brahma Jigyasa. It starts with the phrase, now that you have a human form of life, inquire. And another way to bring auspiciousness into life is avoiding sinful activities. So the Srila Prabhupada from the Srimad Bhagavatam, he summarizes sinful activities into 4 major categories. He says meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, and gambling. These are the 4 sinful activities. So when one avoids these 4 sinful activities and which is no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex, then he actually avoids sinful activities. So at least he doesn't bring inauspiciousness into his life. And because when one, there are 4 pillars of religion according to Srimad Bhagavatam. This is truthfulness, mercifulness or compassion, and cleanliness and austerity. These are the 4 pillars of religion. And the four activities destroy these four pillars of religion or bring inauspiciousness into our lives. And so another goal for human life is to perform tapasya. That is another value actually. So human life is meant for performing tapasya and inquiry. So in that regard, and ultimately to realize our true identity. In that regard, I will just read a section from the Nectar of Instruction, so that we can talk a little bit about tapasya, what tapasya means, and how to actually disentangle ourselves from sinful activities. Can you switch to the document? If you have, can you switch to the document? The next section. The next one. Next one. Yeah. So I'll just read. This is a passage from the Nectar of Instruction by Srila Prabhupada. So here, Prabhupada talks about how to disentangle oneself from sinful action and reaction, and how to actually perform austerity or tapasya. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj placed a number of intelligent questions before Sukadeva Goswami. One of these questions was, why do people undergo atonement if they cannot control their senses? For instance, a thief may know perfectly well that he may be arrested for his stealing, and he may actually even see a thief arrested by the police, yet he continues to steal. Experience is gathered by hearing and seeing. One who is less intelligent gathers experience by seeing, and one who is more intelligent gathers experience by hearing. When an intelligent person hears from the law books and shastras or scriptures that stealing is not good, and hears that a thief is punished when arrested, he refrains from theft. A less intelligent person may first have to be arrested and punished for stealing to learn to stop stealing. However, a rascal, a foolish man, may have the experience of both hearing and seeing, and may even be punished, but still he continues to steal. Even if such a person atones and is punished by the government, he will again commit theft as soon as he comes out of the jail. I mean, we have seen all these different kinds of people, and maybe some of these experience, we ourselves have observed. So if punishment is in jail is considered atonement, what is the benefit of such atonement? Thus Parikshit Maharaj inquired, Drishta Shruthabhyam yad papam jananan api atmano hitam karoti bhuya vivashaha prashchitam ato khatam question nivartate abhadrat Kwaschid charati tad punaha prashchittam atopartam manye kunjara soshavat. He compared atonement to an elephant's bathing. The elephant may take a very nice bath in the river, but as soon as it comes onto the bank, it throws dirt all over its body. What then is the value of its bathing? Similarly, many spiritual practitioners chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and at the same time commit many forbidden things, thinking that their chanting will counteract their offenses. Of the 10 types of offenses one can commit while chanting the holy name of the Lord, this offense is called Namno Balat Yasyahi Papa Buddhi, committing sinful activities in the strength of chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Similarly, certain Christians go to church to confess their sins, thinking that confessing their sins before a priest and performing some penance will relieve them from the results of their weekly sins. As soon as Saturday is over and Sunday comes, they again begin their sinful activities, expecting to be forgiven the next Saturday. This kind of prayaschitta or atonement is condemned by Parikshit Maharaj, the most intelligent king of his time. Sukadeva Goswami, equally intelligent as befitting the spiritual master of Maharaj Parikshit, answered the king and confirmed that his statement concerning atonement was correct. A sinful activity cannot be counteracted by a pious activity. Thus, real prayaschitta atonement is the awakening of our dormant Krishna consciousness. Whenever we commit a sinful activity, two things happen. Actually, one is we are going to get reaction for that. The other one is it also adds an impression or inclination in our mind. It's called samskar, to actually perform the same sinful activity again. So here you can see Prabhupada is talking about how many people actually have unwanted habits. We all have bad habits or unwanted habits. In fact, the nature of habits is that, if you remove the H from the habit, there is still a bit. And then if you remove the A from the word habit, there is still a bit. So habits, when they are formed, actually are very difficult to change. And especially when the habit is actually destructive or when they are sinful. And here Srila Prabhupada actually talks about the Christians actually who, or for that matter anybody who actually does some sinful activity and thinks that he goes and does some puja or he goes and confesses to the priest over the weekend, then all his reactions can be atoned. Actually, the reactions can be atoned. The problem is one's tendency to commit sinful activity is not removed. That's why it's a spiral down. So when one performs a sinful activity, there is the inclination to perform the sinful activity next time becomes stronger. So that's why even there is atonement or prayaschitta, one actually goes back to doing the same activity without any change in the character. So here Parikshit Maharaj is asking Sukadeva Goswami, then what is the point of atonement? If there is no change of heart, then what is the point of atonement? So then Srila Prabhupada explains further, real atonement involves coming to real knowledge. And for this there is standard process. So when one comes to the platform of transcendental knowledge, then one actually comes to the real platform of real atonement. When one follows a regulated hygienic process, he does not fall sick. A human being is meant to be trained according to the certain principles to revive his original knowledge. Such a methodical life is described as tapasya. One can be gradually elevated to the standard of real knowledge or Krishna consciousness by practicing austerity, celibacy, by controlling the mind, by controlling the senses, by giving up one's possessions and charity, by being avowedly truthful, by being clean, by practicing yoga asana. So all these different methodologies are given in the Vedic scriptures for one's purification or for one's atonement and for one's purification, so that he can come to the platform of understanding his true identity, which is I am a spirit soul, I am Atma. So all these different sacrifices are actually prescribed in the Vedic scriptures. But who's ready to do? Nowadays, we hardly have time to to have a quality life. So who's going to do controlling the mind, controlling the senses, and still practicing celibacy and austerity and all those things? It's a high ask from people of Kali Yuga. It's a pretty high ask. So what is the alternative? However, Srila Prabhupada gives the alternative, which is, however, if one is fortunate enough to get the association of a pure devotee, he can easily surpass all the practices for controlling the mind by the mystic yoga process simply by following the regulative principles of Krishna consciousness, refraining from illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication and gambling, and by engaging in the service of the Supreme Lord under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master. So, if you want to reach the top of a building, you can either climb through the staircase and go floor by floor and go and reach the top of a building. Or you can also use the elevator, which can actually take you directly to the top of a building without much effort. So here Srila Prabhupada has shown us how to purify our existence, which is, we just talked about how that is the goal of human life, which distinguishes from the animals, how to purify our existence and to come to the platform of transcendental knowledge and self-realization is actually either on one side you have all those other, performing austerities, giving charity, doing sacrifice according to the Vedic injunctions, and controlling the mind and senses. All these are options. The other option is actually to connect to Krishna. To connect to Krishna through His message, through a devotee who represent Him. Because when we connect to Krishna, who is the source of all purity and all greatness, then automatically all auspiciousness actually begins to come in our life. And this is actually in fact corroborated in many places in the scriptures. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, Savai Pumsho Paro Dharma Eto Bhaktir Adhokshaje Ahaituki Apratihata Eyatma Suprasidati. It is said that the supreme, the highest dharma of all humanity is to develop love for Adokshaja, or for God or Krishna, who is beyond all material senses. That is the supreme dharma of all humanity. And one can do that by the simple process of devotional service. One doesn't, if you look at the other processes, then it becomes truly challenging to control the mind and senses, to practice celibacy and all these different kind of sacrifices, which ultimately leads to transcendental knowledge. But all these things, the results of all these things is also possible when one performs devotional service to the Supreme Lord, or bhakti. It becomes easy when one connects to the Supreme Lord via bhakti. And Krishna himself shows that in many places when he actually, performed his pastimes on this earth. The team which was connected to Krishna always had auspiciousness on their side. They always want, for example, Pandavas. They were always dependent on Krishna. They were always connected to Krishna. And due to which anytime they actually faced any problem, they were able to successfully come out of it. In fact, Queen Kunti, actually, she lists all the list of things in their lives that actually, because of Krishna, they were able to overcome it. For example, when many examples. For example, when Draupadi Haran was going on, ultimately she took shelter of Krishna, and Krishna expanded himself as her sari and protected her. and in the Kurukshetra war. In fact, after the Kurukshetra war, Arjuna and Krishna were sitting in the chariot, and Krishna told Arjuna to actually get out of the chariot first. But generally the rule is that the charioteer actually first gets down, and then the person who's riding on the chariot gets down next. So Arjuna is a little confused as to why Krishna is asking him to get down first. But listening to Krishna, Arjuna actually gets down first, and then Krishna jumps from the chariot, and then the chariot bursts into complete flame. And then Arjuna is struck with wonder that how come this chariot has burnt into complete flame. Then Krishna tells him that there were many astras and many the enemies had released many astras and hymns targeting and trying to destroy the chariot, but because of presence of Krishna, they didn't have their effect like that. And pastimes like how Jayadratha, Arjuna vowed to kill Jayadratha before the sunset. It was almost impossible task because he was completely protected. Then Krishna again intervened to protect the Pandavas. So time and again, Krishna actually intervened to protect his devotees or people who are connected to him. And not only in the life of Pandavas, but also in the life, in many other people's life whom he came across. For example, when Lord Krishna entered Mathura, there was one flower garland maker, and he actually approached Krishna. Actually, Krishna approached him, and then he was so happy to actually serve something to Krishna that actually Krishna awarded him the benediction that you will have a prosperous life, in this material realm, and then you will come back home, back to Godhead after your death. And then there was one hunchback. Her name was Kubja, and she was so attracted to Krishna when Krishna was entering to Dwarka that actually she applied some sandalwood paste to Krishna just to offer some service out of love for Krishna. And Krishna immediately reciprocated by actually lifting her. He put his foot down and then he lifted her, and her hunchback was gone, and she transformed into a very beautiful lady. Of course, it is not that we do our service to Krishna expecting something like a business deal, but getting in touch with Krishna actually brings the real auspiciousness into our life. That is the real message. Really connecting to Krishna brings the auspiciousness into our life. And that is what Arjuna also did. Arjuna was, as we were talking before, Arjuna was very in a depressed state. He was going through a very confused state. But because he was in touch with Krishna, all his confusion was cleared and he got clarity. And he was able to perform his duty with more enthusiasm because of connection with Krishna. So if one thing you want to take home today from this whole whole talk that I've been kind of giving out many points, is actually connection with Krishna brings auspiciousness into our lives. So and that is what history shows us. And that is what the Puranas shows us. Like for example, Prahlad Maharaj. He was in such inauspicious situation. In one sense, materially, his father was Hiranyakashipu, and he was very angry that Prahlad was actually a devotee of Lord Vishnu or Krishna. And because of that, he tried his best to destroy Prahlad Maharaj in every other way. He tried to destroy him by throwing him from a mountain, by having elephants stomp on him, or by throwing him in a pit of snakes and whatnot. But because of his connection to Krishna, he was always protected. He was always protected, or Vishnu. So Krishna is the source of all auspiciousness, and the other side is also true. Duryodhana, even though in the Kurukshetra battle, the Kauravas' army was much more powerful than the Pandavas' army. But because even though they had greater number of Akshauhinis, or the Sena, even when they had more powerful soldiers, but still Duryodhana, due to his selfishness and his greediness, he was not connected with the Supreme Lord. So all his attempts became futile ultimately. So it's like having a lot of material power and opulence is like having so many zeros. But ultimately all those zeros is of no value. Because ultimately it's zero. We have so many zeros, ultimately the value is zero. But if you put a 1 in front of all those zeros, then it all becomes suddenly, if you have 10 zeros and you put a 1 in front of it, then it becomes a big number actually and a big value. So if we bring Krishna into our lives, then all our opulence and whatever we have, everything actually gets some meaning and value in life. So since we are a little short on time, I thought we will read from the section of Bhagavatam where Krishna enters Mathura. And actually, what to speak of people who are serving Krishna, Krishna gives them so much. But even for demons who actually want to kill Krishna, Krishna still gives them all auspiciousness. In fact, when the demoness Putana, she came to kill Krishna because Krishna is just born, and Putana was sent by Kamsa to kill Krishna. So Putana has smeared all dangerous kind of poison in her breast, and then she is going to actually feed Krishna with the breast milk, which is actually smeared with poison. Of course, we all know the story, what happened, and Krishna actually sucks her breast, and then he actually also sucks the life out of her. Even though materially you can see, this is a punishment, but actually it's a great benediction. Why? Because later in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Uddhava says that how merciful is Krishna? How merciful is the Lord, who actually, even when Putana came to kill him, he actually gave her mukti. He actually gave her the position of a mother in the spiritual realm, in Vaikuntha Loka. So Uddhava actually glorifies Krishna like that even one who is actually killed by Krishna attains liberation, attains all auspiciousness. Let me just so this is the beauty of connecting with Krishna. And of course for Arjuna, Krishna was present right before him, and he was able to talk to Krishna and connect with Krishna directly. So how do we do in our lives? Ramana Sakaprabhu, next slide. So to connect with Krishna is actually very, very, very easy. It's also very practical. And a great saint, Srila Rupa Goswami, actually gives 64, of course, to connect with Krishna, the best way to connect with Krishna is through Bhakti Yoga or devotional service. And he lists out 64 items of devotional service, out of which he says 5 items are very potent. And even if one actually has a taste for even one of these items, then one easily connects with Krishna and also becomes successful in their life, in their own self-realization, and also in God realization or realizing Krishna. So how to reconnect with Krishna? He says these 5 items. The first item is serving the deity with great devotion. As you all done today, you've taken some time out on this new year and you've come actually to see the beautiful deity of Radha and Krishna. This is a very, very potent means to actually connect to Krishna. And seeing the deity and appreciating the beauty, of course, the Lord actually manifests as Archa Vigraha to show His mercy to all, the conditioned souls, so that they can actually remember Him and come back to Him. So this is one potent way to actually connect with Krishna, to set some time to visit a temple and to see the beautiful form of Radha and Krishna, where they are worshipped in a regular way. So the Lord actually says at many places in the scriptures that He actually comes. The Archa Vigraha is not different than Him. So this Archa Vigraha is not different than Krishna, and whatever worship we do, Krishna accepts it directly. So this is one of the 5 potent ways of devotional service through which we can connect to Krishna. And the second one is recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. You can also include the Bhagavad Gita. So the Bhagavatam texts like Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita are non-different than Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam is about the Supreme Lord and His devotees. So these texts are non-different than Krishna. So when we spend some time to read Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, then it's actually again connecting with the Supreme Lord. In fact, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it says that Krishno Sodamo Bhagate. So it says that Krishna, does anybody know the verse number of that? I think it's first canto, 3rd chapter. Krishno Swadamo Bhagate Dharma Jnana Dibi Saha Kalau Nashta Drisham Esa Puranarko Dinoditaha. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 3rd chapter, 43rd verse, it says that this Bhagavad Purana, it talks about the Bhagavad Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam, is as brilliant as the sun. And it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to His own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. So, Bhagavad Purana, so Krishna was there 5,000 years ago at the end of Dwapara Yuga, and he left. Once his pastimes were over, he went back to the spiritual world, taking along with him religion, knowledge, all the his abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge. But in place of Krishna, what has appeared is Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. So they have appeared to actually give light to all the people in the age of Kali who are covered by this dense darkness of ignorance. So the second step, one can easily associate or connect with Krishna, is to actually read Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And we have all these literatures in our temple displayed everywhere, and one can actually take a look at these literatures. And they are filled with divine instructions. Of course, Bhagavad Gita is filled with divine instruction, and so is Srimad Bhagavatam. And the third way to actually easily associate with the Lord is through his pure devotees. Because the devotees of the Lord carry the Lord within their heart, they are able to actually give the Lord to every one of us. Like for example, how there's a story of a hunter. His name was Mrigrari. Even a moment's association with a genuine devotee, even a moment's association with a genuine devotee actually can give one perfection. Give one all the perfections that they are actually hankering for in their life. Why? Because they are all carrying Krishna in their heart. So there's a story of the hunter Mrigrari who came in a moment's association with the sage Narada. He came, he had a moment's association with the sage, and the hunter was actually half killing the animals. And the sage advised, sage Narada actually advised him not to do that because it is a very sinful activity which will incur sinful reactions. So the sage told him to actually give up that activity and take to the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. And the hunter was transformed. His heart got transformed by following the instructions of Narada Muni. And we hear so many stories where just a moment's association of a devotee can actually bring a great transformation in our heart and all perfection. In fact, there is on the lighter side, there is a story that which talks about the glory of associating with the devotee. There was once a pious king, and he was ruling, in a very pious manner, and a devotee of Lord Krishna. But his son was not so much pious. So the father was he was not going on the right path. He was sometimes deviating. So the king was very worried. What will happen to my son? My son is not, on the righteous path. So once Narada Muni actually approached him, visited him, and the king actually inquired Narada Muni, my son is a little wayward. What should I do? Then Narada Muni thought of a plan and he said, don't worry. Just let me meet your son for a moment, and I'll speak to your son for a minute, and that will fix everything. So he met the king's son, and then he told the king's son that when actually the way you're leading your life, you will surely be at the doorstep of Yamaloka because of all the activity, the reaction for the activities that you're performing. But when they bring to Yama's court, just ask this question to him, that what is the destination of a person who had a moment's association with the pure devotee of the Lord. And then the sage disappeared. And then many decades went by. The king's son still continued, his wayward path, even though he tried sometimes to be good. But the end of his life came, and then the Yamadutas came, and then they dragged him to Yamaloka, and then so when you've been brought before Yamaraj, so this person asked the question to Yamaraj that by some good fortune he remembered that Narada had asked him to ask a particular question. So he asked the same question to Yamaraj: what is the destination of a person who actually has a moment's association with the pure devotee of the Lord, of the advanced devotee? So Yamaraj got a little confused. He said, I'm not very sure. Let's take your question to Lord Brahma, because he is my authority, and I'm not very sure about the answer. So they all go to Lord Brahma, and then Lord Brahma is asked the same question. Lord Brahma says, I'm not sure either. So let's go to Lord Shiva and then put this question to him. And then they all go to Lord Shiva and then put this question to him. Lord Shiva is also not sure. Then they finally decide, okay, let's go to Lord Vishnu's abode, Vaikuntha Loka, and then put this question forward. So they all go to Lord Vishnu's abode. There they all ask Lord Vishnu, what is the result of a person who actually has a moment association? What is the destination of a person who has a moment's association of a pure devotee? Lord Vishnu said, okay, the result is you all leave him here and go back to your places. That is the result of a moment's association, is that all the demigods will actually bring that soul back to the Vaikuntha Loka, drop him there, and then go back to their own places. So Vishnu said, leave him here and all of you can go back. Like that. The story is to illustrate the importance of association of a pure devotee. And the association of a pure devotee brings transformation of heart. And when the transformation of heart happens, then one actually leads a righteous life and goes back home, back to Vaikuntha Loka, and all auspiciousness comes into their life. And that is one way to actually very quickly associate with Krishna, to associate with his a pure devotee. And then one of the best means to actually reconnect or connect with the Lord is chanting his holy name. One can associate with Krishna directly by chanting his holy name. That's why we have the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's actually a mantra from it's a mantra from the Upanishads, Kali Shantarana Upanishad, where there is a conversation between Brahma and Narada Muni. Again, Narada Muni is asking Brahma, what is the easiest way to negate the effects of Kali Yuga? So then Lord Brahma says, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, iti sodaksham namnam Kali Kalmashanashanam. So he says this 16-syllable mantra can actually destroy the effects of Kali Yuga. And then he also goes on to say that you won't find a more sublime method in the Vedas other than chanting this 16-syllable mantra. How is that? Because the holy name and Krishna are non-different. The name of Krishna and Krishna are non-different. As much as the Bhagavad Gita is non-different than Krishna because it is a word spoken by Krishna. In fact, in the material world we have a different experience. When we speak or when we refer to an object by its name, the name and the object are different. That is a material conception. But a spiritual conception, in the spiritual realm, the name and the object are one and the same. Because Krishna is absolute truth, his name, his form, his pastimes, his words, everything represents one and the same Lord. They are non-different. So when we take the name Krishna, we are actually directly associating with the Supreme Lord himself. As much as Arjuna was associating with the Lord directly, it's as good as that. When we take Krishna's holy name, we are associating with Krishna directly. And how it brings all auspicious... and in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is another beautiful verse which actually glorifies chanting Harinam Sankirtan. It says, what is that verse which starts from, there is one good quality in Kali Yuga? No, that is... Yeah. How does it start? Yeah. Kale Yuge Jana no. Kale Dosha Nide Rajan Astihi Ekon Mahan Gunan Kirtanad Eva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Rajet. So this is Sukadeva Goswami telling Maharaj Parikshit, Kaler Doshanide Rajan. This Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. And I'm sure living in Bay Area, all of you would somewhat agree. Look at our life we have, the lives we have, such fast-paced, stressful, the question that we really have to ask ourselves is, are we leading a very quality life? In fact, people 50 years ago may had a more peaceful life and spending more time with their family and the things that they were cherishing in their heart. So, Sukadeva Goswami says, Kaler Dosh Nidhe Rajan. This Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. But Asti He Ekon Mahan Gunan. But still there is one good quality in this Kali Yuga. Even though everywhere it's all topsy-turvy, Asti He Ekon Mahan Gunan. Kirtanad Eva Krishnasya. That is the Kirtan of Krishna. The Harinam Sankirtan. That is still just one good quality. Mukta Sangha Param Rajet. So that one thing, even though Kali Yuga is the ocean of faults, that one thing can actually bring one to perfection. That is Krishna Kirtan or Harinam Sankirtan. Just as one thing can bring all auspiciousness into our life by getting us connected to Krishna. Because it's non-different than Krishna. And finally, the fifth potent method is to live in a holy dham like Vrindavan, Mathura, all these places. Of course, for us, this temple is Vrindavan because this is where Krishna lives in the deity form and gives us his mercy. So this temple is non-different than Vrindavan in that sense. So these are 5 potent methods how we can actually connect to Krishna. So when we connect to Krishna, all the inauspiciousness from within the heart actually disappears and all auspiciousness comes into our life. If if our heart is full of inauspicious things or unwanted things, then what is going to come out is what is within our heart, and what are we going to attract is inauspicious things. But when our heart becomes purified, so that's what happens. Next slide. So what happens? This is the effect of devotional service. This 5 potent, even if we perfect through one of these potent ways, either getting attached to Krishna through the deity form, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, associating with devotee, and living in a holy place. If we can get a taste, or if we can get attached to even one of these methods, then what happens? The effects are amazing. Our heart is transformed. All the inauspiciousness things are rooted out from our heart, and all auspiciousness enters our heart, and we awaken our true identity. As we are right now, it's all muddled. We don't even know who we are. If you are actually looking in a mirror, and the mirror is covered with dust, what image would it show back to you? It would show us a very distorted image. It won't show us our true image. Similarly, right now, our heart is filled with all inauspicious and unwanted things of lust, greed, anger, and illusion, and all these things. So, when our heart is cleansed by connecting with Krishna, because Krishna is the most pure. Krishna is the most pure. So when our heart is cleansed of all the impurities, then automatically we can see ourselves, we can see our connection with Krishna, and our relationship with Him. So with that, are there any comments or questions or doubts? Anybody want to add anything? Prabhu, do you want to add anything? Sankarananda Prabhu, do you want to add anything? Or we will read just one more verse, how this cleansing happens. How, Balimardan Prabhu, do you want to add anything? So we'll read just one more verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Shrinmata Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridyantasto hi Abhardrani Vidunoti Surut Satam. So this verse talks about how by chanting Krishna's name all the unwanted things gets cleared away from our hearts, and we because of Krishna's pure nature. Does anybody remember what that verse number is? Oh, yeah. It's first canto, second chapter. Let's 12? 17th verse. First canto, second chapter, 17th verse. We'll just read this purport. It's a beautiful purport. Srila Prabhupada says, the beauty of chanting, the results of chanting Krishna's holy name, or connecting to Krishna through chanting his holy name. Shrinvata Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridyantasto hi Abhadrani Vidunoti Surut Satam. Translation. Sri Krishna, this personality of God who is the Paramatma in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Purport. Messages of the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna are non-different from him. This we talked about just a few minutes ago. Whenever, therefore, offenseless hearing and glorification of God are undertaken, it is to be understood that Lord Krishna is present there in the form of transcendental sound, which is as powerful as the Lord personally. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shtashtaka declares clearly that the holy name of the Lord has all the potencies of the Lord, and that he has endowed his innumerable names with the same potency. There is no rigid fixture of time, and anyone can chant the holy name with attention and reverence at his convenience. The Lord is so kind to us that he can be present before us personally in the form of transcendental sound. But unfortunately, we have no taste for hearing and glorifying the Lord's name and activities. Actually, it's a benediction. The Lord agrees to appear in the form of his name, especially in Kali Yuga, because we are so disadvantaged in Kali Yuga. Our lives are short, our memory is short. We are always disturbed, stressful, agitated. Our minds are agitated. So we are in such a disadvantaged position. So Lord makes it very easy to, to follow the spiritual path. The Lord actually makes it very easy, and that's why he appears as the holy name. So we have already discussed developing a taste for hearing and chanting the holy sound. It is done through the medium of service to the pure devotees of the Lord. The Lord has reciprocally responded to his devotees. When he sees that a devotee is completely sincere in getting admittance to the transcendental service of the Lord and has thus become eager to hear about him, the Lord acts from within the devotee in such a way that the devotee may easily go back to him. The Lord is more anxious to take us back into his kingdom than we can desire. Let me just read it again. The Lord is more anxious to take us back into his kingdom than we can desire. Actually, we are holding on to this. We are the ones who are holding on to this world. The Lord is more eager to take us back into the Vaikuntha Loka. In fact, Kunta means full of anxiety. This is this world. Kunta means it describes this world. Vaikuntha means a world which, the spiritual world, which actually has, is without any anxiety. No anxiety. I mean, we would like to go to a place, right, where there is no anxiety, there is no death, there is no, old age, there is no disease, there is always happiness, eternity, bliss. We would like to go to such a place. The Lord is more eager to take us back to His kingdom. That is His kingdom, Vaikuntha Loka. Most of us do not desire at all to go back to Godhead. Only a very few men want to go back to Godhead. But anyone who desires to go back to Godhead, Sri Krishna helps in all respects. One cannot enter into the kingdom of God unless one is perfectly cleared of all sins. The material sins are a product of our desires to lord it over the material nature. It is very difficult to get rid of such desires. Women and wealth are very difficult problems for the devotees making progress on the path back to Godhead. Of course, it goes both ways. Women for man and man for woman. Many stalwarts in the devotional line fell victim to these allurements and thus retreated from the path of liberation. But one is helped by the Lord Himself, the whole process becomes as easy as anything by the divine grace of the Lord. To become restless in the contact of women and wealth is not an astonishment because every living entity is associated with such things from time immemorial. From remote time, practically immemorial, and it takes time to recover from this foreign nature. But if one is engaged in hearing the glories of the Lord, gradually he realizes his real position. By the grace of God, such a devotee gets sufficient strength to defend himself from the state of disturbances, and gradually all disturbing elements are eliminated from his mind. So it all starts from the simple process of Shrunvata Swakata Krishna, hearing about Krishna, chanting His holy name, connecting to Krishna through one of those potent 5 methods, and then all auspiciousness actually comes into our lives. So I know New Year is a time for resolutions, for thinking what you want to do in the year coming year ahead. So our humble request on behalf of this temple is take Krishna into your life. Connect with Krishna through one of those potent means. So with that, we'll end this class, and then we'll now have an Aarti ceremony for the Lordship, Sri Radha Madan Mohan, where we'll actually glorify the Lord by chanting His holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And thank you very much. And just one request, if you can actually take keep the Bhagavad Gitas in the corner, and also take the seats and put it in one corner so that we can actually get ready for the Aarti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Swati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Hare Hare Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Prabhu Nityananda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Hey Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Hey Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Gaurari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jai Jai. Govinda 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 Govinda. Gopal 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 Gopal. Govinda 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 Govinda. Gopal 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 Gopal. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jai Jai. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Sri Radhe. Jaya Mahaprabhu, Jaya Mahaprabhu, Jaya Mahaprabhu, Jaya Mahaprabhu. Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev. Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. गौर प्रेमानंदे जय जय श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन भगवान की, श्रीमन महाप्रभु की, श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतवचरणार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद महाराज की, नित्यलीला प्रविष्ट अष्टोत्तर शत श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद महाराज की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्त वृंद की, श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की, वृंदावन धाम मथुरा धाम की, नवदीपपुर मायापुर धाम की, श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, श्री श्री पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र धाम की, श्री श्री पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र धाम की, समवेत भक्त वृंद की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की, गंगामयी जमुनामयी की, भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की, ISB मंथली संकीर्तन फेस्टिवल की, हैप्पी न्यू ईयर की, ISB यात्रा की, द ईयर 2014 डिवोशनल सर्विस की, गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga Hari Hari.
Hari Rupa जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
तव कर कमलवरे नखाम अद्भुत शृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुमृङ्गम् केशवदत्ता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
तव कर कमलवरे नागाम. What are you going to say now? Hari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare
जय नरसिंहदेव
Loud,
नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
Jayo Narsingadev Jayo Narsingadev. Jai Lakshmi Narahari
लक्ष्मी नरहरि जय लक्ष्मी नरहरि जय लक्ष्मी नरहरि जय लक्ष्मी नरहरि
Lakshmi
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल
श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय. श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन जी की जय. चैतन्य महाप्रभु जी की जय. गौर प्रेमानंद.
Hare Krishna. Today, Vrindavan Priya Prabhu is not there, so I'll try to fill in for him. First of all, very happy New Year to all of you, and let's chant one shloka, one chant of Hare Krishna mantra to invoke all the auspiciousness for this New Year. So let's start. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much. We see today a lot of new faces. Who are the people coming first time to our temple today? Can you please raise your hands? 1, 2, 3, from behind. Thank you very much for coming in, and we will request from ISV management if you can consider this of getting associated with the temple more frequent. So please, we invite you to come and visit our temple more frequent, and we'll be glad to serve you here. And you could have seen the beautiful darshan of Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan. And please be part of the congregation. And sorry? Yes. So Shri Gopal Prabhu, he is our devotee connect lead of our congregation. Please see him and he can give you, he can take your email address and phone details, so you can be contacted further for any communications which are coming for ISV programs here. One thing which Srila Prabhupada in his books have said is this human life is very important. The natural propensity of working hard for getting food, shelter and all is available even to animals. You take any example, they don't have to work hard. So there is no need for us to work tirelessly, hours after hours, to just get a morsel of bread. And this human life is there to inquire further, to inquire who we are, where we came from, why are we in this situation. And all these questions have to be inquired, and then they are to be submitted to someone who knows about the answers about this. So this is like Prabhupada gives examples of post box. You can deliver letters at only specified location. You cannot just put it in any of the boxes, correct? If you put it into the post box, then your letters will be taken and delivered. So temples like this are created just as an analogy for such post boxes, for delivering you to the final destination. So please make advantage of such places. Here you can see the Lord, you can take darshan. You can pray to manifest a guru in your life and to improve your sadhana, and then eventually Lord reciprocates. So that with that, since Avantika, do you know who are the cooks today? Do you like to announce for that?
Hare Krishna. So the cook for today is Bhakta Vatsal Prabhu.
Also, one of the change which we did was, so far we had opportunity for only Sunday feast, but now in this year we have extended it for Wednesday, like gatherings like this today, as well as Saturday morning. So in case you wanted to feed Vaishnavas, you can sponsor the Wednesday or the Saturday feast, and it comes for $108. And today that spot is open. So if anybody wants to sponsor, Rajesh Prabhu, let's give him a big round of applause. Thank you very much, Rajesh Prabhu. Even I will like to co-sponsor with you for today's feast. Anybody who would like to sponsor for the downstream days, please contact us. Balimudan Prabhu, any other announcement for today? Okay. And people who are coming first time to our temple, Shri Gopal Prabhu will have a gift for you. Don't forget to see him and collect your gifts. Okay? And the prasad will be served outside. Yes, Rajesh Prabhu? Okay, so today is Shamalangi Mataji's birthday. Let's wish her in our traditional Hare Krishna style. Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna, dear Shamalangi Mataji, Hare Krishna to you.
Thank you all for your association. It's actually very special to all of us because recently I just came back from Phoenix after 5 days and I really missed all of you. So my desire is to be continually in association with all of you. Thank you.
So I just got a small communication from the cooks that there's still some bhoga getting offered to make a better feast for you all. So what we can do is, and it will be getting offered. So what we can do is, the newcomers can first take the prasad, and then maybe we can do small kirtan, and then after that devotees can. How long it will take typically? Around 10 to 15 minutes? Okay. Yeah, looks like, kirtan? Okay. Any other announcements? Otherwise we'll have 5-10 minutes of kirtan, and then we will honor prasad everybody, okay? And we will give privilege to the newcomers first, and then few of us also can take the prasad, okay? Any questions?
महाप्रसादे गोविन्दे नमो ब्राह्मणे वैष्णवे स्वल्पपुण्यवतं राजन् विश्वास नैव जायते शरीराविद्याजा ज्योतिन्द्रियता हि का जीवे फेले विषय सागरे तार मध्ये जिहाती लोभमय सुदुर्मती ताके जेता कठिन संसारे कृष्ण बाद दयामय करिबारे जिहा जाय सप्रसाद अन्न दिलो भाई से अन्नामृत पायो श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेमिदा को श्री चैतन्य निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय निमाय जय निताय प्लीज जोर से बोलो जय निमाय जय निताय लिटिल मोर जय निमाय जय निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे बोलो हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hey Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Sri Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Sri Radhe. Gaur Premanande, Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan Mahaprasadam ki, Sriman Mahaprabhu ki, Sri Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Bhagavan ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande. Happy New Year to all of you. May Lord Krishna bless you all with all your happiness, pleasure and spiritual happiness. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yes. Please go ahead, whoever gets first. Otherwise we can keep on chanting. Hare